Take two.
You're good.
Okay, thank you. I'll start again just in case that didn't stream. We're just making sure the streaming is up and live. So good morning, everybody. Welcome to our statewide professional development day. It's great to be with everyone from one teacher to another. We're happy to welcome you. And I have another teacher here with us to kick us off to a strong day of learning, our very own Governor, Matt Meyer.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Delaware's statewide PD Day, Professional Development. Thank you to Secretary Martin, the people at the Department of Education for what they do every day, and thank all of you for what you do every day. If you're anything like me, you woke up a little sad this morning. Rough night last night. I'm a big Eagles, Phillies, Flyers guy. Tough night. But we're here today and thinking about the present and the future, and there's no better time than now. Some of you may know I'm not just your governor, but I'm the first governor in the state ever to be a public school educator. And so I must admit, it's a little strange for me to be talking to
we're
you.
here
I'll never,
today and thinking about the present and the future. And there's no better time
I'll
than
never
now.
forget
Some
how I
of you may
would sit
know I'm not just your
time and
governor,
again
but I'm
where
the
you're
first
sitting
governor in the state ever to be a public school
uh,
educator.
in
And so I
professional
must admit,
development,
it's
rolling
a
my
little
eyes, knowing
strange
I was in
for me to
for
be
hours of
talking
what I
to you
felt like was
here
not
today and thinking about the
not really
present and the future.
productive
There's no
time.
better time.
So our goal today is
I'll
really
never
to make
forget
this
some of you
productive
know
for you and
I'm
your
not just
teaching
time and
craft,
again,
to make sure
where
this
you're
is
sitting
time well spent, to make sure
in
whether
professional
this is one
development,
of
rolling
your
my eyes.
first weeks in the classroom or you have decades of service to all of us, that this is productive time where you can take something, maybe some small thing, maybe a few big things, and use it to improve how you educate Delaware's next generation. And maybe even if you're feeling anything like me this morning after last night, maybe even improve your mood and your outlook a little bit for the future. Now, I still remember when one of my students told me years ago, Mr. Meyer, I'm just not a math person. I just don't know math, Mr. Meyer. And for weeks we worked together, and one day he solved a problem he once thought was impossible. He divided fractions. And that moment changed him. I remember that. And it changed me too. It's moments like that which remind us. I'm sure you have stories like that of students who came in saying, I can't, and they left saying, I can. And that reminds us why days like today matter. It's not for a checklist of sessions, but because it's a rare and precious time to step back, to collaborate, to innovate, and to learn from one another. And the truth is, our current system across our state, our education system across our state, is not working well. Now, that doesn't mean things in your classroom aren't working well. That doesn't mean your school isn't working well. There are individuals doing extraordinary work. There are classrooms and schools doing extraordinary work. And we want to use this as an opportunity to highlight that. We need bold new ideas and the courage to try new things, even when it's a little uncomfortable. That's how we get better. When I became governor just a few months ago, I declared a literacy emergency in this state, not as a slogan, but because our students deserve better. And since then, we've made historic investments in teaching and learning. And every state agency now has a literacy advocate. And that's because literacy is not just a school issue, it's a state issue, a community issue, and a democracy issue. In her presentation from our education secretary, Secretary Martin, she's going to highlight some of the immediate actions underway and make it clear this is not about planning for someday. This is about implementation now. Our kids and our collective future, I really believe, depends on it. But here's the truth. I can't do it alone. She can't do it alone. None of us can. You can't do it alone. Not students, not teachers, not administrators, not governors. Only by working together, teachers, communities, families, the parents, the children you work with, and your peers. Only by working together can we make Delaware truly the best state in the nation for public education. I want to close simply by thanking Secretary Martin and her extraordinary team for bringing us together. They put in a lot of hard work to make today the most productive day for you and your teaching craft. And finally, just thank you again for the extraordinary work you do every day, much of which we never see. But I want you to know how much we appreciate the work that you do. Enjoy the rest of your professional development day. I'm going out with Habitat for Humanity today, trying to drown my sorrows by building a house. Have a good one. Back to you, Secretary Martin.
Thank you, Governor. What a way to launch our day of learning. It is so wonderful that we have a governor who understands the teaching craft, your work, your profession, everything that you do every day on behalf of our students. We are lucky to have you, Governor Meyer. Thank you. As we continue, I started by saying I bring my teacher voice to everything that I do. And I'm here in Delaware because I believe in us. I believe in you. I believe in our students. And I saw the vision our governor had. And that's part of how I found my way to Delaware by way of Washington, D.C. and also California, where I spent 37 years as a teacher. And this is my 38th year in education. And I always approach my work as a teacher because that's where I've spent almost all of my career. And I focus on our students, just like you, every single day. Last month, the governor and I signed a proclamation for Literacy Month. And that was great. It was Literacy Month. We were in a library. We were doing it with the state librarian. I want you to know today is not Proclamation Day. We did that already. Today is how we get into the details of how we, all of us in our classrooms, will improve reading outcomes for our students across Delaware. That's the teacher voice I bring to this plan and to our approach. I see you teachers as being the heart of our system. And that's our job. Our job as a state now is to make sure we're supporting you, we're clearing the path, we're giving you the resources you need, the professional learning you need, and coaching that supports you at your own point of need and growth. So the plan I'm sharing today is keeping the main thing the main thing. What's the most important thing we do every day? If we're addressing the literacy emergency our governor just talked about, it is strong, daily reading instruction. That's the heart of the plan I'll talk about today. That's the work, and I want you to know we're in it with you. I'm a literacy specialist by trade. That's what I've done my whole career. It's my life's work. Teacher, principal, superintendent, and now your Secretary of Education. It's important to me because if we want to shift the outcomes, and I mean truly shift outcomes for our students who deserve it, we have to begin where equity lives, and that is in literacy. That doesn't mean we don't need strong early childhood, great pathways for teachers to come into the profession, CTE pathways to find great jobs, but K-3 literacy is at the heart of it. Arts education matters, early childhood education matters, science education. When I say literacy, I'm not only talking about reading, decoding, and encoding, as important as that is. Put it into the bigger context of a holistically literate person who can make meaning of multiple coding systems in science, in art, in math. Literacy matters. Making meaning matters. That's where equity lives. So over the past few weeks, I have enjoyed spending my time visiting schools across Delaware. Haven't been to all of them yet, and I'm not going for photo ops, although I do try to match your school colors when I come up to a school. But what I love to do when I'm out in our schools is to sit in classrooms, to be with you, to be parts of your lessons, watch your lessons, debrief with principals, listen to groups of teachers after I walk through the buildings to hear your real lived experience as a teacher. And so what I've seen so far is amazing. Students are excited to learn. I've seen teachers working incredibly hard with impeccably planned lessons, exquisite learning environments. I see leaders, including some first-year principals, ready to lead out there in classrooms every day supporting their teachers. I see determination in this great state of Delaware to help our students thrive. And so I'm scratching my head and I'm wondering if I see all of this great work wherever I'm going, why are we not seeing the results to match the efforts that I'm seeing? Sometimes it's a lack of skill. Sometimes it's a lack of will. I see the skill. I see the will. I see the brilliance in our Delaware students. I see our teachers working hard. So why do we not yet see the results that are the byproduct of this great work? Because that's what a test score always is. It's only a byproduct of great instructional practice every day. So I look back a little bit so I can look forward. What have we already tried? With everything I've seen that's working and doing all the right things for the right reasons and the right way, what's happening? And if I look back, what Delaware has spent a lot of time on, well spent time doing very important moves. Delaware has done funding changes like the Opportunity Fund. We've developed investments for tutoring, high dosage tutoring, after school programs, in school programs. We've spent money on summer learning. We've invested in mental health supports. We've invested in teacher pay. All of those things matter. But why do we not yet see the results, given we've done everything that we know should work? What I think about the investments that have happened in the statewide efforts, district-wide efforts, all of the previous efforts, as great as they are, have been outside of the classroom moves. Those have been outside, not inside tier one instruction. And what I know and believe from my 37 years as a teacher and making shifts myself as a teacher, as a principal, as a superintendent, if we're going to shift the outcomes, the byproduct, the standardized score, that's the outcome. If that's going to shift, it's going to shift because we change what happens every single day inside each and every classroom, meeting students at their point of need. So the plan that I'm sharing today, the vision that we hold, centers us on the non-negotiable for the state of Delaware. Tier 1 instruction, high quality daily reading instruction, especially focused in K3, that actively engages our students. You can see that work being done every single day, but we need to make sure it's being supported and invested in, and you're given the time and the training so that you can do this work. Because when you do strong, high quality tier 1 instruction, there's less of a need for tier 2 and tier 3. I love tier 2. I love tier 3. I know the importance of multilingual learners and students with disabilities and supporting students across the continuum. But start with tier 1, because if tier 1 instruction is weak, no amount of intervention, no tutoring, no summer programming is going to fix that or catch us up in the way our students deserve. So we have to start with tier 1, because that's where access and equity and excellence begin and where they live. You don't have to close achievement gaps later if they never open. Strong, sturdy bridges to kindergarten through 0 to 5 programs, and then go deep with that tier 1 instruction. And we move forward as a state. So here's my vision. I think of it this way. It's pretty simple to say, very complex to do. Have every child reading on grade level by the end of 3rd grade. Remember, I was a kindergarten teacher, first, second, 3rd grade teacher. I know that continuum. I know what it takes to get them there. And I've taken the most struggling students and gotten them on grade level. We can do this. That's the vision. And have them be proficient on the state assessment. And have that outcome be regardless of zip code or language or income. A student's demography does not determine their destiny. And yet, if they're not reading on grade level by 3rd grade, their future is written for them. So we can do this. We can get there with strong tier 1 instruction. We know we need job embedded learning. So it's at your point of need. If we're going to teach students at their point of need, we need teachers to have learning at their point of need. We need staffing models for you, our educators, that will support you. And we need real family partnerships. So there's kind of 4 pillars to how this plan works. Inside a statewide approach, first of all, every child gets strong reading lessons every day. And you as teachers, learning the science of reading, learning about high quality instructional materials and skillful implementation, but more importantly, internalizing the lessons, all of your reading instructions, so that when you internalize them, you can personalize them for your students. So let's be clear, because learning to read does not happen by accident or because I give some speech on an opening PD day. It happens because we teach it. We are clear, we are intentional, and we are skillful in our instruction. So when we're making sure that every student every day in every classroom has access to real, meaningful reading instruction that's built on what we know works, we start to move as a state. Teachers need to have the right materials in their hands, the high quality evidence-based lessons that we know are grounded in the science of how kids learn to read. We need to make sure that teachers are able to use short, simple checks on student progress throughout the year. Don't wait till the end of the year test to know if your teaching worked. Use the common formative assessments for learning. Don't just wait for the big tests at the end. These checks all along the way help us adjust our instruction right away. And we can narrow down the list of tools and programs so everyone speaks the same language. That way, the data that we're collecting actually will help teachers teach better. And while we're doing this first pillar, every child gets strong reading lessons every day, we're making sure our multilingual learners and our students with disabilities get the right support so that they can learn from grade level texts and not be left behind or have their instruction watered down. So that's the first pillar. Every child, strong reading lessons every day with all of the supports of the materials and the training and the on-time assessments that you need. Second pillar, teachers deserve the best training and the best support. We want all of our teachers and our leaders to get real training in the science of reading. And we want you to have opportunities to internalize the lessons so that you can personalize them for your learners at their point of need. You'll see that we're going to keep growing our letters training, our AIM pathways, and our ELA opportunities so no one's left out. We love to see and we love to invest in more short coaching cycles that are focused on real kids in real classrooms. These short coaching cycles are the ones that help us focus on the students who need our help right now. Give us your trickiest customers. Let us lean in and work as a team to solve some tricky problems that we have with students in our classrooms that are just not learning. We can fix that. We can address that in the classroom with real support. We also know teachers need real training and support. That means weekly team time matters. Whether you call it PLCs or something else, there's different words for it, but planning time matters. Looking at your student work, figuring out what's working, what's not working, how do you pivot? And when I talk about teachers deserving the best training and support, I'm not going to leave out AI instruction. AI instruction and bringing AI into the conversation actually matters, but we have to bring it in carefully. It is not to replace teachers. AI actually can lift some of your administrative burden in really smart ways. And it can give you tools to personalize student learning because you know best what your students need, but the AI tools, when done right, can support that. So you'll see that we'll have an AI literacy summit to make sure we're choosing the tools that actually help, not hype, have vision, to move forward with this in our second pillar of teachers deserve better training and support. And the third one is schools need the right people and the conditions that will make this all work. Because a strong plan is only as good as the team behind it. Principals and school leaders, you're the key. My team and I will be in schools with you. We'll be looking at data together. We'll be celebrating bright spots. We'll be naming barriers. And we'll be leaving when we visit a school with a plan that can be implemented. We'll rethink this old model, one teacher, one classroom model, because what I know and I've seen is that team teaching works. It gives kids more caring adults and it helps teachers thrive. So I also think as we move forward with this, making sure that having the right people and the right conditions in our schools means we have to work with our teacher prep programs to make sure that every new teacher can teach reading from day one. And yes, we're fighting for funding that matches the needs of our kids because equity isn't a slogan, it is an enabling condition for our third pillar of the conditions that make this all work. And finally, our fourth pillar, we don't do this alone. You heard our governor say that this is a whole of state approach. And so our families are full-time partners and our students deserve support from their families as well. Reading does not stop at the classroom door. So you'll see that we're launching a family literacy toolkit. It'll have book lists and tips and resources in multiple languages so families can support learning at home. We're also adding 25 tutors in schools that need the most help. But you got to know tutoring is not the end game. We don't tutor our way out of this emergency. It's a bridge to stronger Tier 1 instruction. So we'll make sure every new literacy teacher has a mentor. Teaching reading well is hard work, and no one should have to do this alone. So those are the four big ideas. Overall, it means tier one instruction with the supports that go with it. But I want to say that there's actually funding behind all these words. This is not just the vision, there's money for it. So let's talk about money because yes, there is real funding behind this work. Some of the best ideas for early literacy aren't sitting in some office in Dover. They're sitting right there in your classrooms right now, in the way you teach, in the words that you say, in the lessons that you plan, in the materials that you develop, the things that you wish that you had more of. As I talk to teachers, I hear them saying, I wish I had more certain tools, maybe to build better phonemic awareness. So here's what we're doing. Starting this afternoon, thanks to the governor and our legislators, we are launching teacher-driven projects through our partnership with Donors Choose. Here's how it works. You'll be able to go online. You'll be able to choose from vetted classroom resources, vetted by our own teachers in Delaware, and these resources are designed to make Tier 1 instruction stronger. They're the tools that you want in your tool belt that every good craftsperson needs. We want to get these tools into your hands and get them into your hands quickly. So we've set aside $3 million for these projects, and each teacher can shop for a bundle. That's what we're calling them. And the bundle will be worth up to $750, real materials, real support, not months of waiting. And we'll also share the names of the teacher experts who got together over the summer for you and helped us curate the recommended lists of materials and supports that we know will help you with your Tier 1 instruction. And we're going to be transparent about where the money goes, what got funded, which schools, what kinds of resources teachers are asking for. And for those of you that are teaching in our CSI or TSI schools that need targeted support, we're prioritizing you with a dedicated $1 million. Simple, fast, teacher-directed, aligned to our literacy plan, real stuff, real tools in classrooms now. That's one funding part. And then there's another grant on top of that. It's our Bridge to Practice grant. This is a competitive grant up to $7.2 million for districts and charters that are ready to go deep on what actually moves early literacy forward. These grants will go for programs that work on making sure teachers internalize high-quality instructional materials. We'll be funding programs that add more training for every pre-K-3 teacher and making sure that they know how to deliver daily engaging Tier 1 instruction. We'll be funding the ways to build strong coaching models focused on real student data. You have data at your fingertips that show how to move the needle, and we'll be investing in exploring the innovative staffing models so more adults can support more kids. This is about giving schools the resources that will turn good plans and the best intentions into strong daily practice. So if we're investing over $10 million in this plan, how are we going to know it's working? You're going to spend $10 million, and what will you have to show for it? What we're going to see is steady, sustained growth in third grade reading scores on the Smarter Balanced Assessment. And yes, I'll just say it plainly. I expect to see some of the biggest third grade reading gains Delaware has ever seen. But that's not the only thing that matters. We'll also keep our eyes on what builds a solid foundation. Attendance matters. Kids have to be here to learn. Stability. We want to look at stability to make sure we have what's happening if students are moving and how can we support students who are living in unstable conditions. We want to support early social emotional learning for students because calm, confident kids, they learn to read more easily when they have those supports. So let's be clear. Accountability is not about blaming or shaming or pointing fingers. It's about shining a light on what matters most. Data is a flashlight that helps us, not a hammer. Every day in your classrooms, you make choices that shape how our kids learn, how you prepare a lesson, how you protect your routines and your teaching time, how you use data to guide your next steps. That's the heartbeat of this plan. I've asked school boards across the state to align their policies and their budgets to early reading. I'm asking you to align your instruction and daily practice to it. Many of you already are. I have seen it firsthand. Focus on delivering strong Tier 1 instruction every day. Follow your district or charter's scope and sequence. Keep an eye on progress using real-time assessments for learning by student, by subgroup. Know your children by name, by strength, and by need. And know this, I hold myself accountable too. My team and I will be out in schools, not with clipboards and checklists, checking on people if they're doing things right. No, shoulder to shoulder, learning alongside of you. What are your pain points? What are your celebration points? What's working? What's not? Solving problems together. And at the end of the day, accountability isn't about a number on a chart. It's always about a real child with a real name and a family and a story and a history and a strength and a gift and a talent and an ability. A real child sitting in your classroom and a teacher. You, a teacher with a plan that changes their life. We got this. My team started calling this kindergarten class that's in kindergarten right now. So to all my kindergarten teachers out there, I'm with you. I taught kindergarten. My favorite book I used to open the year with was Mrs. Bindergarten Teaches Kindergarten. It kind of goes with my name, Mrs. Martin. So this year's kindergartners, my team likes to call them the Kinder Martins because they're starting school the same year I'm starting mine here in Delaware. They're our anchor. We will watch their journey carefully over the next few years because when they hit third grade, we'll know exactly how well we have kept the main thing, the main thing. Their reading success will be the truest measure of our collective work. Just know this is not going to be about random acts of literacy and hoping things go well. This isn't going to happen by accident. It's going to happen by design with smart, intentional investment and support. This isn't about another plan collecting dust on a shelf. This is real work. This is teacher work. This is investing and supporting you. It's about your daily practice in every K-3 classroom, sustained over time. Delaware can show the nation what's possible when a small state focuses on the thing that matters most, supporting our educators for high quality, strong Tier 1 instruction backed by coaching that's meaningful, smart staffing, family partnerships, and your brilliance as educators. We can do this, we must do this, and we will do this together. Thank you for joining. I'm going to turn it over to Alyssa for some housekeeping for the day.
Thank you so much to everyone for joining this morning. We are so excited that you're here with us today. Just a few quick directions to get you going. If you see our State Professional Development Day website app, there you're going to find the links to all of your sessions. You'll also find your session materials and the post-session feedback form. That feedback form will be a button in every session, so it doesn't matter which one you click, it will take you to the same feedback form and you can fill that out for each session that you attend today. If you need support throughout the day, we do have a Zoom meeting available for you to get live support, and that button is on the home page at the bottom of the homepage of our State Professional Development Day website. So please go there and jump in the Zoom if you need help throughout the day. Have a wonderful day and enjoy all of your sessions. Thanks so much for joining us.